Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today we are back for some more live Showdown action. In the last episode, we featured a team with Glastrier, so we'll be playing a couple more games with it today. This is the first team that I built for Series 7, and of course we're playing on Showdown right now because the in-game ladder on the ranked ladder does not have the rules in effect yet. So those will go in effect at the end of the weekend. Appreciate everyone's patience, and I appreciate everyone for tuning into the Showdown content as well. I know that some of you don't prefer it relative to the battles in-game, totally understandable, but the upside by doing this is that we'll be able to cycle through more battles and try out more teams. So probably going to switch teams every 2 episodes or so, so we'll probably have 3 to 4 teams ready in-game once I get to start Road to Rank. So thank you as always for watching. If you enjoyed, please share your support by leaving a like, and let's get started. Check out the description below if you want to paste for this team, and I would highly recommend the last episode if you haven't seen it already, as well as my intro to VGC 2021. Or not intro to the, it was more just of a, covers the rule set. So all that stuff's down below. So let's get started with this episode. Okay. Moltres and Regieleki. I've definitely, like, that lead could be pretty impressive, I think. I kind of want to go with the Dragapult route here, honestly. Like, Indeedee Dragapult, get a Dragon Dance off and kind of just sweep through there. Glastrier is not bad here. It's just that when it enables setting up Trick Room, I guess I could actually just lead Indeedee Dusclops, Glastrier Feeny. That also feels okay, actually. Let's try that out. I think the one change I maybe should have brought was Incineroar, because they have Glastrier as well. Moltres and Rillaboom. Okay. This is gonna hurt, but I think it's just gonna be a follow me Trick Room turn 1. Like, us having the winning the terrain war is a big deal, right? So they can't fake out here. But, yep, they have their own Glastrier. Now, the upside is, like, I can burn it. Oh, gosh, that's a nasty plot. That is very scary. I can still just fish for the free switch into my own Glastrier, though. Oh, but this thing has that spread attack, doesn't it? That's really gonna hurt, actually. I'm gonna Expanding Force and Will-O-Wisp here into Glastrier. If I burn this, even if you pick up a double KO and I get the free switch into my Glastrier, it's actually totally fine. Okay, so we do get the burn, which is huge. It's Lumberry, though? Oh, dear. Okay, it goes for Quake. Very little damage. Fiery Rat just picks up a double KO. Jeez, what's the item on this? Citrus Berry. So my Glastrier should be able to just one-shot this thing. Ah, I can't believe it was a Lum. Wow. Yeah, I feel forced to Dynamax Hailstorm Calm Mind here. Like, Glastrier could still sweep through my opponent's entire team, but that Lum changes everything. Fiery Wrath is a sick attack. It's very cool. Crit our Dusclops, I don't think that matter, to be honest, because I don't have any special defense investment. So, how could I have led to beat Rillaboom and Dragapult? Or sorry, I actually just answered the question. Dragapult would have been the answer. Okay. They're going to go for a Knuckle, so they're going to activate the Policy. That's kind of surprising, actually, because now I feel like our Glastrier should just sweep through my opponents. That's very interesting. Because I still have 2 turns of Trick Room to work with as well, so that's huge. I don't know if a Knuckle KOs them, though, so I might want to not target that and wait until their Dynamax ends. Yeah, they bring in Rillaboom. I wouldn't be surprised if they double up into Glastrier with, like, a Glide, but I think the play here is to just Hailstorm, Protect. I don't think a double up KOs us here. I mean, that Max Knuckle to 26%. Yeah, this thing is just so bulky. Look at that. 540 attack, 151 defense right now. Yeah, they glide into Tapu Fini. Perfect. We went first twice, and now we're at +3 attack. Or sorry, 3x attack. It's not even +3. Okay. And their Dynamax ends. Now, my Feeny's also calm-minded, but they have a Spadef boost. What do you have as the last one? Landorus T. Okay. Landorus T. I mean, I really want to just Max Knuckle here in Muddy Water. Can you knock out the Tapu Fini here, especially if I like a proc a Policy? That might be a problem, actually. I wonder if it's better to KO the Landorus, because this KOs through Protect, too. Whereas, like, a high horsepower shouldn't KO us here. Because my fear is if I go first, I Knuckle, I don't KO you. I mean, I'm at +3 attack. But this thing's so bulky. Yeah, I'm actually going to Hailstorm here and go for the Dazzle. And he protects. Okay, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Huge. Okay. Okay, we get another Chilling Neigh. Okay. 2v1 now. This originally had Lumberry. It's at +2 attack. I'm at +3 attack. Pretty sure this thing has some speed investment. I think we constantly are going first under Trick Room. So I mean, I could Protect here. Like, I'm leaning towards Protect. I don't want to miss, so, like, Protect Dazzle. It has high horsepower, right? Right, that's how it got the Spadef boost? Yeah. So it can high horsepower into Feeny. But a close combat will just KO us. So I'm leaning towards Protect. I really don't want to risk missing Muddy Water. Let's see how much Dazzle does to start, and then we'll make our decisions after this turn based off that. He could read into this, though. Like, the Protect is pretty obvious, but what I fear is close combat, then you're at +3x attack, and then you can just KO us. Not 3x, sorry. +3 attack. The Lumberry changed everything here, though. If it weren't Lum, I felt very confident we'd win even after losing both of our Pokemon in the beginning of the match. So, that definitely hurt. I wish I Calm Mind in the last turn instead. That may have been better. Yeah, I think Calm Mind last turn was probably the play. It's pretty good damage from Dazzle. And the Ice will crash into Glastrier. Okay, so we should be good here, I think, then. I don't want to risk missing Muddy Water yet, and Dazzle could be a 3-8 KO. Well, actually, it's healing back a little bit every turn. I wonder if Ice Crash even KOs. It should, right? Either way, it's going to be CC and Dazzle. Looks like it didn't KO. Oh my gosh, this thing is so bulky. Yeah, this Pokemon is just really interesting. Because, like, we didn't even use... I mean, I think the main thing that helped us here is my opponent activating our weakness policy. That's a really big deal. Having Policy on this thing just makes it an absolute monster under Trick Room. It's kind of similar to, like, Rhyperior, right? In earlier VGC, in, like, Series 6. Or, sorry, not Series 6, like, the earlier series. But the thing is that I feel like this thing is better than Rhyperior outside of Trick Room, and it's also better as a non-Dynamax option. Like, this thing, even when non-max, is really strong. Okay, so they have a lot of potential Trick Room stuff here. This feels like a Dragapult game, but I think we bring Glastrier in the back. So I like Indeedee, Pult, Feeny, and Glastrier in this game. The reason being is because my opponent doesn't have Ghost Resist here, so if I could potentially Dragon Dance, or I could just Helping Hand Phantasm eliminate something right from the start of the game. So I like that combo here. Feeny is decent because my opponent's team is relatively special, especially like everything bar the Zapdos and maybe the Raichu. Like, I think Volt Tackle Raichu is still a decent option, kind of like what we were using in some Series 6 teams. Okay, so it's Feeny and Comfy. We actually win the Terrain War there. That's a big deal. I wonder if it's Policy. That'd be really interesting. I want to follow me Dragon Dance turn 1. This is slightly risky because they might, like, Dazzle, but I think it's worth going for. Is it worth going for, actually? Yeah, okay. Ended up being worth going for. Side Giga Drain. So they're a Policy set. That's interesting. Do you one-shot us here? You do not, which is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Got Glastrier in the back. Trick Room maybe goes up here. I think it's pretty safe, though, to go Follow Me, Dynamax, Phantasm. If you're not sashed or have Trick Room, then I guess they could... Yeah, I was going to say they could Giga Drain here. Are they sashed? They're not sashed. Good. So now we have a defense drop on that as well, right? And their Dynamax ends after next turn. Okay. So I've got my own Feeny, and I've got my own Glastrier. I think going to Feeny is better here. Okay, they bring out Hatterene. Which means I can't necessarily just play passively with Dragapult here. If I'm my opponent, I'm probably max guarding, like, Trick Rooming, to be honest. So the question is whether I want to call that and go for, like, Gleam, Phantasm. But the Hat protects? Oh. Okay, we'll probably lose off that then. It's still winnable, but... Yeah, that's really bad. Wow, I didn't think Cat would protect there. Like, I had to respect the Trick Room option. That was the problem. The thing is, though, I do have 2 defense drops on this thing, so I think a high horsepower can just KO. I don't know if Dazzle KOs the Hatterene, so I'm going to offer Muddy Water and high horsepower. Because if we can pick up a double KO, like, we can still win. Okay, get that knockout, nice. It's Hydro Pump, but we survive, and we hit the high horsepower. Dude, this thing is so good! Who even needs to Dynamax it? Not us. Let's go. And Crest is the last one. We hard win this now. You just Calm Mind, Protect. Yeah. That's what, like, my opponent didn't have much offense, right? You're relying a lot on the Tapu Fini alone. I can't believe it survived a +2 Hydro Pump. I mean, it's max HP and it has really good bulk, so I guess it shouldn't be that surprising, but man, this Pokemon is really impressive, honestly. Like, I am sold on it. Ooh, Regirock, very cool. Celesteela may be a problem. I think this team could probably use some electric type attacks. But I love that I can bring this and I don't even have to Dynamax it. Like, that's awesome. Could be decent here. Reggie's scary. Fini looks good. Actually, all of our Pokemon look solid here, so I don't really know what to go with early. I kind of like maybe the Dragapult route again, because my opponent's team is pretty slow and passive other than the Pheromosa. So Indeedee, Dragapult. I'm leaning towards Instant Fini this time around, but as we saw, Glastrier was pretty solid in the endgame in that last one. I think Instant Fini is a little bit more consistent here, though. So let's go with that. Pheromosa and Celesteela. Okay. It's pretty scary, actually. I have Vincent and Fini in the back. I don't know what movesets people are using on these. I would think it's Sashed. Maybe an Ice type attack or a Bug type attack. I could just follow me Dragon Dance turn 1, which is what I'm leaning towards. Oh gosh, it's Max Celesteela. It's gonna Airstream, isn't it? Okay, at least Pheromosa switches out. But how do I beat Celesteela? I don't think I do. That's a really big threat. Okay, well, we know it's physical, which is good. Because like I can bring in the Incineroar now, and you're not grounded. I think I still outspeed the Tapu Fini. So I actually think this is a decent opportunity to go for Burning Jealousy, Dynamax, and Phantasm into Fini. Because I think Phantasm one-shots this thing. I think we should be faster. It depends on how... No, wait, there's no way you're faster, right? Yeah. At +1, we should... Oh, yeah, we're also +1. What am I talking about? Okay, they switch it into Incineroar. That's a good switch. It's a really good switch. Still did so much damage, though. Defense drop. Okay, nice. Get the Burning Jealousy off. It might be Policyed. I've seen that. It's not. Oh, that's really good. That's really, really, really good. Because we can Phantasm Incineroar again here. That Max Quake did 63. We have 36, so we should survive another one. So, they might Fake Out, though. Oh, but if you Fake Out, you proc or Berry. So then we would survive. So I think it's going to be Parting Shot into Celesteela and Phantasm into Incineroar here. Wait, was our Berry proc? Oh, no, it didn't proc our Berry. You're kidding me. Oh, I should have switched out then. That was bad. That was bad. Instant was so good here, too. It's still, like, okay, I think, because... U-turn might be physical. Triple Axle scares me here. I have Wormwind, but Misty Terrain is up. I'm leaning towards Phantasming this thing and just Gleaming, but it might Protect. I messed up, though. If I just switched out into Fini last turn, I would have been good. I just thought the Fake Out would guarantee proc or Berry there. So, that was a bad assumption to make. I think if our Berry gets activated, we're also in good shape there. We know... Okay, they don't Protect, which is big. Nice, get the one-hit KO there. That's good, because I can't beat this thing otherwise. And he close combats into Tapu Fini. What? Why? You're Sash, too. Does it not have an Ice-type attack? I mean, that might be the explanation. Oh, maybe my opponent's just like, I can't deal with the Tapu Fini in this endgame. That makes sense. How do I win this? It's not over yet. I want a Phantom Force, ideally. I think Phantom Force Gleam here works. Nice, they Protect, that's huge. Okay, they go for their own Gleam. Oh, that's Specs, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. So I think with Life Orb and Phantom Force, we KO here. So I'm just going to Gleam. I could Protect. No, I think it's just correct to Phantom Force. Yeah, that picks up the knockout, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, so I'm guessing Pheromosa just doesn't have Poison Jab or Ice Beam, because I thought it would have gone for either of the two earlier. This thing is so scary, though. It gets access to Triple Axle now, I believe, so it's an even bigger threat than it used to be. Because before you'd run Ice Beam on it, but now you can run Triple Axle on it. So, that was an intense one. But Dragapult's been phenomenal for us today. It's been so good, so I'm happy about that. Okay, I have to admit, I know nothing about this horse. Like, absolutely nothing. So, I know it's slow. And it only has good, like, coverage moves plus ghost-type attacks. That's the extent I know, to which I know. This Indeedee female can have Imprison and Trick Room, so that might be able to deny us Trick Room, which is scary. I have to watch out for that. Feeny feels okay here, but Regieleki looks really tough. Glastrier looks pretty good. Sorry, Glastrier. Under Trick Room? Maybe. This is like just a really scary combination, because I don't know what our best option is. It might be Indeedee-Pult again. It might be. I still want to bring Glastrier, though, but, like, Feeny looks pretty good here. It looks really good here, actually. So Feeny... Because if we knock out the Regieleki, then Feeny can go to town. Actually, I guess Instant doesn't make much sense, so let's actually bring the Glastrier. Like, what I've been learning while playing with this team is that Glastrier is actually better outside of Trick Room than I initially anticipated, even as a non-Dynamax Pokemon. Just because it's so bulky, you can normally take one attack, and with base 145 attack, you just do so much damage in return. Okay, so we go Indeedee-Pult again. It's going to be Zapdos and Indeedee. Now, they might have Imprisoned, so they can Imprison Expanding Force, Trick Room. You're Defiant. Might be a problem. Am I going to Feeny here? If I'm my opponent, I'm clicking Imprison here. I think this definitely has Imprison, Trick Room, Expanding Force. So I would click Imprison and maybe Dynamax Airstream. Huh, I could Phantom Force. It's actually a really interesting option. If I'm expecting Airstream into Pult. I'm going to go for it. This is pretty high risk turn 1, but I don't know. Okay, they Dynamax. Yeah. Oh, Max Guard. Yep, there's the Imprison. Okay, I mean, that works out for us, I would say. Wait, this thing has Dazzling Gleam? Imprison, Trick Room, Dazzling Gleam, Expanding Forces its moveset then, I guess. I mean, I think if we just Dynamax, we can pick up a KO onto this thing, and I think that's worth going for. This thing can't follow me because it's Indeedee male. Yeah, let's just go for the knockout. I'm surprised it max guarded there. That's really odd. Phantom Force, good damage. Oh, they have max Quake. Does that allow them to survive? It might. It might. Yeah, it has Dazzling Gleam. That did no damage. Oh, man, it does survive. Wow, I didn't know it had access to max Quake. Okay. Well, you learn something new every day. Bring out Glastrier now. Thing is, you're not going to knock this thing out with just a Knuckle. So I'm content just going for Geyser, set up the rain. Well, actually, I don't know if we want to set up the rain because there's a Dracovish in the back potentially. So let's just Starfall and Icicle Crash here. Wow. Max Quake. I'm assuming Airstream and Knuckle is the last two. Okay, they switch out into Dracovish and they Knuckle. So this should just be a double KO. Wow, that was actually closer than I thought. But we end up surviving, which is huge. Yeah, it's because it's Life Orb, right? Okay, so if we don't miss the Icicle Crash, that should be GG. Nice. Let's go! Chilling Nay. Okay, so Indeedee is awful against us, which is good for us. Although it does shut down the Trick Room. Or sorry, yeah, this is super... Like, you don't do any damage at this point with this combination. And I can change the terrain. So I am just going to Starfall into... Let's go to Whimsicott. And just double up into that. Oh, it wasn't actually helping hands. Okay. Then decent damage, but like we changed the terrain now. Yeah, we can just Dazzling Gleam. I guess my opponent could have... Oh, wait. I just changed the terrain again. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Does Helping Hand Expanding Force KO us here? Oh, I don't think it should. Because the terrain was up earlier, so I think we should be good. Wait, but they'll win if... Oh, man. If they just knock out Feeny, because you just Imprison Lock us forever. I think we Dazzle and Heal Pulse. Yeah, they just Helping Hand. We should survive this, right? Oh my goodness! We survived with 1%. That was closer than it needed to be. I messed up, I think. Yeah. I should have played that a little bit cleaner towards the end here. I am just going to protect Expanding Force here. Because I want to stall out their terrain. I mean, we should win at this point, but I didn't think it'd be as close as it was. Like, we almost got knocked out there. I shouldn't have opened myself to that risk. So, that wasn't great play on my end. Now we're good, though, I think. Yeah, but that did so much damage. I mean, this thing doesn't have... Like, I think I have, like, max HP, not much special defense investment, if any. It's actually got a fair amount of speed investment. Yeah, he just goes for Expanding Force. Which is the correct play. You need damage at this point, but that's why I can protect. Stall another turn of terrain. Now we can just Dazzle and... oops. I mean, any combination of attacks should seal this one up. Ooh, they go for the Imprison, actually. That's a really good play. It just imprisoned both of our attacks. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm just going to Muddy Water Heal Pulse. I don't even think you KO Indeedee. Yeah, you don't. Nice play, though. Interesting to see this have Dazzle. I'm sure it has Trick Room, explaining the lead as well. The Max Quake on Zapdos was interesting. I did not know that that's something that Zapdoses are running. But that's just only because I haven't really played against Zapdos much at all. So, that is interesting. Lycanroc. I mean, this feels like a 2020 team, just with the Celesteela. Lycanroc reminds me of the Lycanroc we were trying out towards the end of Series 6. Okay. Glastrier feels really good here if I can get it up. So, how does my opponent deny me Trick Room? I actually don't see great Trick Room denial here, to be honest. So, maybe we can just go Dusclops, Indeedee. I could go Incin, but I worry about the Dragapult and the Urshifu. So, Dusclops, Indeedee, Glastrier, Incin or Fee? I mean, Incin looks so good here, and my opponent's team is almost entirely physical, but Feeney is actually not awful. You can set up in the front of all this. Wow, this is actually pretty tough. I gotta think for a second. It's not gonna be Pult, ever. Incin does no damage, though, and for that reason, I actually think it's gonna be Feeney. Because, like, Fire does not do very well into the majority of my opponent's team. Pult and Indeedee. Okay, that's my favorite lead. Life Orb and Citrus. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a super free Follow Me Trick Room. And I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, he goes for Darts. That's fine. And E-Force. Doesn't KO us. We get Trick Room out. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. I can Will-O-Wisp now and Expanding Force. Nice, and they don't follow me, so I get the Will-O-Wisp off, which is really, really good. Ton of damage from Expanding Force. And he goes for Phantom Force, which is interesting because I can just follow me to redirect that. The only downside is I'm running out of Trick Room turns. Oh, I guess Indeedee will KO me first, right? Oh, I really want to go into the Glastrier here. Ooh, I could also go into Feeney. Hello. Yeah, I like that. Go into Feeney and follow me to get the free switch into Glastrier the subsequent turn. And it changes the terrain. Oh, okay. And a Phantom Forcing Feeney. Yeah, sorry, that was kind of a weird play, but it works. Because now I finally get the free switch into Glastrier. The only downside is I only have 2 turns of Trick Room to work with, which isn't ideal. But I can Calm Mind. Max. Do I even want a Dynamax here? I think Icicle Crush might just KO. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. The only problem is I really didn't get much out of my Trick Room in this game. I think we switch this out into Dusclops, because we Dynamax that outside of Trick Room, I think is how we play this now. So I'm going to Dazzle, go into Clops. I can't help but think I should have brought in the Glastrier earlier. Like, after we get Trick Room up, this should be a win. Okay, Dazzle doesn't KO. That's fine. It has, yeah, we know it has Citrus. Oh, he actually Phantom Forces Feeney. That's interesting. Can we get another Trick Room up? T-Tar comes out. Probably not. I want to max this. Oh, but I don't know if that's really easy to accomplish. Like, it might be better to just max Feeney and Geyser. And Trick Room. I'm going to go for that. Okay, they switch in Lycanroc. Ooh, Trick Rooming may have been a mistake if they don't KO the Clops here. And your Sash too. It's not surprising, but... Okay, they go for Max Darkness. Nice. That's huge, because now, you don't have weather control anymore. So, I think I can just Geyser T-Tar. We have the special attack boost. And I don't want to miss. But I don't want to drop either, so I think high horsepower. They max guard, that's fine. Endeavor! Whoa, I haven't seen that before. Does that save them the game? It might. It might. Because now they Rockfall. Oh wait, but I have CC. I have CC. You have to follow me here and Rockfall, I think. They're gonna place the Rockfall into Glastrier. Yeah, I think I lose this if you're Policy. Actually, I think I lose regardless, unless they, like, protect here for some reason. Yeah, they went for follow me. So now I need to hope for them to target Tapu Fini instead of Glastrier. And they did! People keep sleeping on the horse, dude! CC should just one-shot this. Oh, it's Chopal. But I think Muddy Water should KO now. Sand is up, but I have a special attack boost. Question is whether I want to Dazzle. I don't know if that KOs. It's base 80 versus 90. I would think single target Dazzling Gleam KOs with the special attack boost. So I'm going to go for it. We'll find out the calc. Yeah, it does enough. Okay, I didn't want to risk a miss there. Oof, that was scary. That was pretty dang scary. But we end up coming out with the dub. Nice. I really like this team. Glastrier, like, initially, I built it, and, like, the thing in VGC 2020 is that it's pretty easy to kind of build, like, not one-dimensional strategies, but if you want to make a Pokemon work, it's pretty easy to just say throw a weakness policy on it and then go from there. And so initially I was like, oh, it's just going to be like Rhyperior in earlier formats where you set up Trick Room, you bring in, you sweep. But the thing is that this is actually, like I said, more flexible than Rhyperior, which is really interesting. It's just really bulky, so I'm pretty sold early meta on Glastrier at least, because I think it's one of those, like, it commands a lot of respect. So I think my opponent would have won the last one if they just knocked out Glastrier, because, Fini doesn't win the 1v1 against Tyranitar in that position. The Endeavor was what caught me off guard there. This is pretty hyper-offensive, so if we get Trick Room up, we should win. I think I want to bring Glastrier out again, but how do I get Trick Room up? I have to respect the Regieleki. They don't have Imprison, though. So, like, I think Dusclops Indeedee works here with Fini and Glastrier. I like that. Urshifu, it's dark. And then Whimsicott. Okay. Well... Oh, it's banded. Okay, that's good information to know. I think this is... Unless Whimsicott is Trick Room, then it's a gamble turn 1. But I think I'm just going to Trick Room, follow me turn 1. If they do have Trick Room, and they reverse it, we're in a lot of trouble. But if they don't, I think we're just in a phenomenal position, because I think Glastrier just sweeps through everything after Trick Room goes up. Part of what's important is always about using, like, a Trick Room-oriented strategy is you need to figure out how to lead, so, like, Instant Dusclops, Indeedee Dusclops. Figuring out which one of the two is better is important in a matchup like this. But they just go for Moonblast, which is perfect. So, no Trick Room from the Whimsicott. I mean, it's really rare to see that, but it's a possibility. It's always something I have to think about in the back of my mind. I think it's better to just hard go out into Glastrier right now. It's tempting to... I don't know, Fini can just Dazzle into this, right? Both of these are really good, but the thing is that I think Glastrier commands more pressure by bringing it out right now. So, like... I think here I'm actually just going to Brick Break, Dynamax, and Hailstorm. Okay, they switch out into Dracovish. Yeah, the reason being is because, like, I think Oh. I think we're fine here, especially because you don't get an attack boost. Does this one-shot? Oh, it doesn't. I should have brought him Fini out maybe then. I think we're in decent shape still. I think it's fine. But, like, that's where Fini maybe would have helped us out more. Because I feel like if we lose this, I definitely did something wrong. How much did that Knuckle do? 36. The thing is, I could Will-O-Wisp. I think the correct play is to Will-O-Wisp the Dracovish here and Knuckle into Urshifu. Okay, we connect, which is huge. Okay, that's good. This is why I run Will-O-Wisp on Dusclops, because once again, there's so many physical attackers in the metagame right now. Nice, that does nothing. Okay. That was a great Dynamax, though. I have to say, I didn't think about that. It's just Nightshade. Hailstorm. Yeah, I mean, this like, if enable, just sweeps through everything. Like, we're at +5 attack right now, for Pete's sake. Okay, nice. What's your last one? Regieleki. Perfect. It could have, I mean, if both of these have Protect, that could be bad, but I think I'm just going to Nightshade Whimsicott. Actually, who's more likely to have Protector? I think Regieleki is, so let's go for the knockout onto Whimsicott. I don't want to risk missing either, so I'm just going to CC, which I would think would KO. It's plus 3.5, or 3.5x, yeah, that KOs, nice. Oh no, we could still lose this. I mean, yeah, maybe I should have targeted Regieleki, but the thing is, if Regieleki protects, because like it has Electro Ball, so I think that just one-shots Feeny, to be honest. I don't know if it does. Like, I'm gonna Nightshade here. Electro Ball should actually probably KO us from the range that we're at, which is not good. Yeah, man, I was playing around it protecting there. I might have just lost this, actually, which is crazy for how good of a start we got, which means I definitely... something went wrong. I mean, it's either Trick Room Protect or just make the call out and attack here. I don't know. I think they target Dusclops. Okay, we made the right call. I felt my life like flashing before my eyes there. But this shouldn't have been so close, to be honest. So I think I quickly want to analyze this because I think it's always good to go over games, and with Showdown we can do that more. So like turn one's great for us, right? We get the free switch in and get Trick Room up. This is the big turn, right? I just wasn't expecting this to Dynamax, and I was like, oh, if I go Brick Break, Icicle Crash, Whimsicott can't do anything in that position. Should KO anything that comes in that slot other than Lapras, but if Lapras comes in, I can just KO the next turn. So, if I brought Feeny out, maybe that would have been better. Maybe. Okay, so that's fine. We get the burn here and the KO, which is good. Whimsicott comes out. I get another KO here. The main thing is I didn't get 3 turns of max to work with Glastrier, right? Oh, I guess actually, if you look at the damage here, Moonblast only did 10%, so we would have survived another Moonblast on Glastrier here as well. For that reason, I think maybe I could just target the Regieleki. But I do think Protect is pretty common on this thing. Like, I'd run Protect on it personally, so I don't know. Like, with Feeny, we could have brought it out, even Calm-Minded. Yeah, I think Feeny actually might be more appropriate in that scenario, because we don't risk taking damage with our main sweeper, and the Glastrier is pretty good even outside of Trick Room once again. Although, against Electro Ball, Regieleki maybe not as good, but we'll play one more game here. Yeah, definitely still getting used to the format, and learning some of these new Pokemon. I mean, this one's really cool, honestly. I'd love to see, like, a viable Regi in the format as well, so that's pretty neat. Okay, this feels like a 2020 team. Oh, nice. We're in the 1500s. Okay, I was just curious on our ranking. I've been playing a bunch between yesterday's episode and today's too, just to get some more practice in and learning some of the new abilities. Like, for example, I had one game against Galarian Moltres where I was like, let me just bring in Incineroar so I can intimidate it, or not that it's even physical, but I wanted to intimidate its partner, and then I forgot about its ability and it just swept me. So it's small things like that that's really important to learn, like at the beginning of a format. Okay. If I get Trick Room up, I feel like Glastrier sweeps through again. That's the route I'm going with here, I think. I have to be a little bit more aware of the Incin because of the Milotic, but I think Dusclops, Indeedee, Glastrier. Feeny's really good here if I eliminate the Rillaboom. So I'm going to go with that. Milo, Cinderace. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is basically a legal 2020 team. AV. Wow, that's interesting. Milo might be a big problem for us, actually, but I think I'm still just going to Trick Room, follow me turn 1. Question is, who do you Dynamax in this matchup? If Cinderace commits a Dynamax in front of Trick Room, that's great for us. Because now okay, this is also why I love Will-O-Wisp, because now I can Will-O-Wisp and bring in the Oh, this is really good for us. Oh, that doesn't even KO. Oh, okay. And now I can just Will-O-Wisp. And do I want to switch out? No, I don't think so. I want to sack here. I want to get the free switch into the Glastrier. Okay, are you Lum? Nope, good. Rock Slide shouldn't KO. We'll get a little bit of chip off. He flinches us, that's fine. Wow, Steel Spike crits too. That's not ideal, but it is what it is. These defense boosts are kind of annoying, to be honest, but it's fine. I am just going to Nightshade for chip and Heal Pulse. You're probably going to Rock Slide, so you're going to KO us before we move, but it is what it is. But the thing is, I need the free switch into Glastrier here. Good awareness of my opponent to not just give me a free switch in here, though. Oh, we actually dodge, so I am able to heal back, but they might be targeting Dusclops again. Oh my goodness. So this is where it actually kind of works against us. What am I doing? I should be Will-O-Wisping Cinderace. Yeah, that's such a clear play that I was missing. Sorry, that was super obvious. I don't know how I was missing that. I'm going to go for WoW, and we're going to Faint from Sand here, so I'm just going to Heal Pulse. If you're AV, you can't protect, yeah. So you could Sucker Punch, I guess, but that doesn't do anything in Psychic Terrain. The main thing is that it's not Fire type anymore, so I can burn it. So, once again, Will-O-Wisp Dusclops. You should consider it. We go for Bounce. Okay, perfect. Because now I get Glastrier in. Lost in a Trick Room. I can go Brick Break, Dynamax. Don't want to proc a Policy here, right? This thing shouldn't do any damage to us burnt. I wonder if Max Knuckle a +2 KOs through Protect if it protect. Oh wait, it has +2. Ooh, I forgot about the defense boosts. Ooh, that was a mistake. I didn't utilize my Trick Room well at all here because I kept fishing for my opponent to give me a free switch. Okay, they're Triple Berry though, so I think it's fine. It's not Policyed. And Bounced is 9%. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we can just Trick Room here and Knuckle into Tyranitar. I mean, it has a bunch of boosts, but we also have boosts to, like, neutralize it now. Flare Blitz comes out, but that does 20% total. This thing is just insane. Rock Slide comes out. Yep, no flinch. Well, obviously you can't flinch this. We one-shot that, that's good. If we get Trick Room up, it's game over. So let's see if we flinch. No flinch. Nice. Okay, well, I said it was game over, so now I have to prove that it's actually game over. But this thing can't protect, it's burnt, so this thing does no damage. I mean, that once again, that's why just leading is so important in a matchup like this. I think we can just Nightshade, Max Quake into Milo here. The main problem is that I'm not getting the Glastrier in, like, quickly enough. Because if it has 4 turns of Trick Room to work with, it's a monster. Which is why I'm, like, in this position, there's no way we should lose. Because they don't even have Dynamax anymore. This thing is burnt, so it does no damage. Like, okay, it protects, that's fine. Good Protect, though. But I think it's still fine to double up because, oh my god, that's so much damage. Flare Blitz again. It's actually doing more than, let's see. Can a Nightshade KO? Because their play might be to go for a double Protect. But I think Feeny actually, oh, I have to respect Rillaboom being the last one though, don't I? Close Combat should KO here though, so I think we can just Nightshade CC. Okay, yeah, Cinderace faints after that, nice. And Close Combat should one-shot, perfect. We got this thing to +4 attack. Man, that's disgusting. The combination of Max Knuckles plus Weakness Policy just enabled it completely. Rillaboom's the last one, so we can just go out into the Tapu Fini, change the terrain, and it might Fake Out, but Fake Out shouldn't KO. Yeah. So now you can't Glide anymore. It probably went for Glide, yep. And with Trick Room up, Icicle Crash seals it up. Glastrier, man. This Pokemon is really, really impressive. That being said, I think one thing to note is that this isn't just like how Rhyperior operated in VGC 2020, where it's like, oh yeah, let me just like proc my Weakness Policy and go from there. The main thing about this is that like you have to be a little bit smarter about how you use it, I feel like. But if you're able to stall out your opponent's Dynamax, this thing is just so good because it's impossible to KO once it's Dynamax. So I think that makes a really interesting win con as well, especially because it gets really good coverage between Knuckle, Hailstorm, and Quake, and then, you know, its policy, like, with a combination of its policy and its ability as well, it's very easy, and Knuckle, it's really easy to get these attack boosts and kind of chain them, you know, turn after turn after turn. So, yeah, this thing is just an absolute monster when enabled properly. And so it's cool because, like, I think the takeaway from this episode is that you don't need Trick Room for this to for it to thrive. and I'm just using Policy for now, but I think like Bulky Berry, Life Orb, Lumberry, AV are all possible items on it as well. So even though it's super slow and intuitively fits onto a Trick Room team, I think this Pokemon could actually be really good even if you're not necessarily running Trick Room, which makes it even all the more compelling because like, or I guess like you'd probably want one option of Trick Room on the team, but it's like you don't need it to activate it to like demolish with it. Because like Rhyperior, for example, is like not exactly a super good Pokemon if Trick Room isn't up, and especially if it's not Dynamax. But Glastrier, if my opponent's Dynamax is over, it's nearly impossible to one-shot with any non-Dynamax Pokemon. So yeah, that's my main takeaway from using it in the last 2 episodes, but I had a lot of fun with this team. So, you know, I will have a rental code ready for you guys so that you can play with this in-game. We'll probably be the first Road to Rank team, but I'll see. But definitely felt pretty good overall throughout all our games, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I was pretty curious on actually how this team ended up finishing, so I think in the end we had a win and loss of 29-5. Now, obviously, a lot of those games I didn't play for YouTube, but I was just kind of practicing off screen with it just to see how it felt. But I think actually I was surprised for... I didn't think it would be as consistent as it was. And granted, you know, we haven't played that many games with it, but enough to at least get, looks like, top 25 on Showdown. Granted, not many people have played on Showdown right now, but happy to see it at least be somewhat of a consistent team in the early meta, so... yeah, feel free to try it out yourselves. I had a lot of fun building it and kind of just throwing it together. And honestly, like, initially I thought Glastrier was just kind of a cool Pokemon, but now I think it definitely has to, you have to command some respect for it. It is a lot stronger than I initially gave it credit for. So yeah, that's going to be it with our time with this team, at least on Showdown. I will probably, like I said, use this on Road to Ranked as our first team and then go from there. So thanks as always for watching, and we'll be back with some new teams on Showdown later this week. Catch you next time. All right, peace.